Shall we talk about Paul Blart Mall
Mall
Cop?
Cop.
I have to say it so slow too.
Paul Blart Mall Cop.
Oh, it just comes like that blah, if I say it fast.
It has been 6 years since the original Paul Blart Mall Cop.
The classic.
And I mean, you know, I've been scratching the days on my bedroom wall with a penknife. They've decided now is the time to bring back Paul Blart Mall Cop, the character played by Kevin James, who is a security guard in a shopping centre who rides a Segway around and has a very overinflated sense of his own importance. And that was the joke 6 years ago. And as this clip illustrates, when he takes a trip to Las Vegas to a security guards convention, it's still very much the joke now.
Paul Blart?
Yes, sir.
Thought that was you. Donna Eric Cohn, Mall of America. Man, we still talk about your Black Friday sale.
Thank you.
I don't know if you heard. There's gonna be a surprise keynote speaker tonight. Word on the street is gonna be the officer who's going above and beyond the call of duty.
What? I gotta be honest, I had a feeling, but did you really think that? I mean...
Who else?
Yeah.
Unless RoboCop walks into the room.
Yeah, I would definitely stand down for RoboCop.
He's not real.
No, I know he's not real, but I would stand down for him.
He ain't real. Just don't tell anybody I told you.
Told me what?
About the key. You got me. You done gone and got me.
Oh, it was in the throat. It was in the throat.
See you tonight.
Yeah.
So, you've heard of the saying, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Yeah. Oh, come on, we've got another 48 minutes to be on here.
I saw this film this morning. It wasn't screened for critics, so I went to the View Cinema and paid money, sat down. It was at first there was a family walked in about 5 minutes into the film. We were the only people there. They did actually stay, and I did hear one laugh. You know, one of the fascinating things about seeing films that aren't screened for critics is that you see them with an audience that actually genuinely
real people, Robbie.
First thing on a Friday morning, the hardcore Paul Blart Mall Cop fan base were out in force, and that was one dad and two kids, and they did laugh once. It's what's very strange about this is, you know, I remember going into the cinema and, you know, paying for tickets, sitting down, and then I remember coming out of the cinema, and in between there is this kind of 2-hour period of nothingness, and I just, you know, it's not that you can't say anything nice about the film, but it's very difficult to say anything at all about the film. You know, it's like you've kind of gone in for a hamburger and then come up with a mouthful of sawdust. I mean, it's just totally kind of ersatz non-film. Paul Blart Mall Cop at the end of the last film was happily married, and they have to wipe the slate clean at the start of this. So we find out that his wife left him after 6 days. Mm-hmm. And his mother also got run over by a milk float. And I'll admit I did laugh at that. That was quite a funny sight gag. But anyway, he's back by himself with his teenage daughter. And he's invited to this security guards convention in Las Vegas, Nevada. And his daughter, at the same time, she finds out that she's got this hotshot degree course that she's been trying to get onto. Yeah. But Paul Blart Mall Cop is very afraid of being alone in life. You know, daughter is the only person that Paul Blart Mall Cop has left, and so she decides that she can't tell him about this, so she keeps the secret, and they go to Las Vegas together. And this kind of sense of loneliness and aimlessness kind of sets up the general mood of gnawing despair that hangs over the rest of the film. You know, this is a film about Paul Blart Mall Cop being very worried about being left alone and his daughter leaving him, and it makes you wonder: is this really aimed at children, or it kind of feels like it's more a film that's aimed at adults with a mental age of 6, because the kind of jokes that it has, which is Kevin James sort of falling over things and doing forward rolls, tripping up, being run over by cars. He's attacked by an emu at one stage, and it's stuff that is all kind of lowest common denominator shtick. But I don't really see why kids are supposed to be interested in Paul Blart Mall Cop. When they arrive at the casino, of course, there's this kind of legendary German art thief has checked in at the same time with his crew, and he goes about this big art heist, stealing all the priceless Van Goghs or Van Goghs from the casino that are hanging on the walls. The casino, by the way, even though it does have its own security team, is pretty much deserted, and there's these kind of weird echoey corridors where art thieves can just kind of wander around and unhook, you know, sunflowers from the wall and tuck it into a box and walk away. The start of the film is very concerned about Paul Blart Mall Cop's daughter, and she kind of starts falling in love with this waiter at the casino. They go off together, and, you know, they spend some time by the pool while Paul Blart Mall Cop worries about them. And then they go to a party together while Paul Blart Mall Cop gets very worried as well. Then they get arrested not arrested, rather kidnapped as hostages by the art thief. And then the second half of the film becomes this Home Alone style adventure where Paul Blart Mall Cop is walking around the casino, firing all these great security guard inventions that he found at the expo, like glue guns, superpowered segways, and all this kind of stuff, to save his daughter. And it's just, what's strange about it is that the film is predicated, as I said, on physical comedy. Kevin James as a physical comedian. He may be a very talented physical comedian. I don't know his work outside of Paul Blart Mall Cop, the two films.
I love the fact that every time you refer to him as Paul Blart, you don't just say Paul Blart, you say Paul Blart Mall Cop.
That's his name, it's Paul Blart Mall Cop. Paul Blart Mall Cop is the name of the film, Paul Blart Mall Cop 2.
Passport.
And so... So anyway, sorry, I've lost what I was going to say. So it's based on Kevin James' physical comedy. I gather King of Queens is a very good TV show. And,
which he writes as well, and he's written this.
But Paul Blart Mall Cop doesn't play to his strengths at all. And what's odd about it is a lot of the physical comedy is augmented by computer graphics. For example, there's a scene in which Paul Blart Mall Cop is kicked by a horse into a car, and the horse is CGI, and the car is CGI, and Paul Blart Mall Cop is CGI, and you're watching it thinking, this isn't slapstick. This is a cutscene. This isn't real. And this is the problem with the film. As I say, a burger made of sawdust, chips made of snipped up bath sponge, Coca-Cola made of grouting. It's not real. It's not a real film. It's not real entertainment. It's not, it's not real kind of nourishment. It's not real entertainment. It's just nothing. It's a big nothing film.
Yeah.
And, I didn't have high hopes for Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, but it's really kind of... sailed really far under those.
Well, let's wait and see if they get Paul Blart Mall Cop 3 off the ground. Just purely so that I can do the show with you when it's released, so you can say Paul Blart Mall Cop. Oh, that was amazing. I can only manage to say it so many times as well. I can't say it
Paul
once.
Blart Mall Cop.
There we go. Okay, enough.